Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ghana Innovation Journal's Breaking News segment. Today, we are here with STEMAIDE. We are going to talk about how STEMAIDE is expanding access to STEM education and driving measurable learning outcomes across Ghana. We are joined by Mr. Prince Boateng to discuss their 2025 impact and what comes next. Hi, Mr. Prince. You're welcome.
Hello, Tracy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. It's glad to have
Yeah,
you here. I'm happy to share what Stephen has been doing over the past years.
interesting. Can you briefly tell us about STEMAIDE and your role there?
My name is Prince Boateng Asari, like you mentioned, and I lead the team as the CEO and also the co-founder of STEMAIDE Africa. And my role is very simple to ensure that the vision is communicated clearly to the team to ensure that everyone executes to the maximum efficiency.
Okay. What does STEMAIDE do?
STEMAID is an educational technology company that is focused on making STEM toolkits to empower every child to learn and build the future we want to see. The goal is to prepare them for the future and the future of work. And we do that through the STEM toolkit and also the services of training the students and also reskilling the teachers to be well equipped in the classroom to deliver STEM education properly in the classroom.
Interesting. Access to quality STEM education remains uneven across Ghana. From your perspective, what is the most critical gap STEM aid is trying to solve?
Right. So I could speak to the problem because we are all aware of a lot of the problems that are happening. According to the World Bank, it states that less than 25% of African students are enrolled in STEM-related programs in the higher level, and the number is even scarier, where you have less than 5% of them are females or women representation. So the programs are basically clear, and every edtech provider in the continent is trying to address this gap. But what we are doing differently from this gap is to raise the awareness issue. So we don't just do the STEM, we also try as much as possible and raise the awareness in STEM education to get the young ones to be highly enthused and to be aware to ignite their interest for STEM at a higher level because the goal is to bridge the gap. So that is one of the core things uniquely that we are doing differently from what all the other STEM things that we are all addressing is doing.
That's insightful. What made you confident that a platform like STEM aid could solve this problem and also succeed where traditional approaches have struggled?
I'm sure you are very much aware about the STEM history. We didn't start today. It's been a long journey, and one of the main challenges that we see because we traveled the whole country, all regions, and we identify key challenges that we also want to impact the ones that we meet in the STEM and all other things. So, what is making us confident and different is our approach. Number one, and the tool that we have made available. When we do these training programs, you notice that we're using tools that were from the Western countries, which is very expensive. So when you go and do a training, when you are done, you carry all those things back for another training. So what happened to those you trained over there, right? So it was a major challenge, and we came up with the STEMIC kit, which is a simple toolkit that has basic components, sensors, wires, bulbs to ensure that every single child, irrespective of wherever you find yourself, once you get a kit, you can start learning practical coding, hands-on skills, AI, and robotics. So with the tool, we scale and ensure that every child, they don't need internet connection, they don't need a fully formed computer lab, they don't need a classroom. The only thing they need is the lab in the box, which is a statement kit, and then they can start learning. Every kit comes with a guided manual, so students can follow and build projects step by step, and they can do over 200 projects without any assistance or guidance, or even little guidance.
That's nice. I know kids really love playing, and then if they're able to learn from it, it makes their learning method more enjoyable. You've reached over 12,000 new users in 2025. What specific strategies drove this growth, and what surprised you the most?
Ah, It goes back to 2024, somewhere in November, where there was a call for application for the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship Program. And
Okay.
so we asked ourselves, like, are we ready to apply in 2024? Or there are other activities that we can hold on and apply the following year? So right
Yeah.
from November 2024, we started planning for the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship Program in 2025, which is now last
Okay.
year, right? So
Yeah.
then we were looking forward to see, because the goal of the program is to, if you are selected, you are supposed to impact 8,000 learners every year
Yeah.
for the next 3 years. So we had to be strategic and plan about how we can enroll in the program and also achieve the milestone of 8,000 learners. So that led to the 12,000 learners we did for 2025. And one of the main things is collaboration, because you can't do it alone. We collaborated with a host of partners. Since we've been in the game for over 10 years, we had a couple of partners that we've been working with for the past year. So we just engaged them and they made their people available or their learners available. And then we train them on STEMAIDE kits and also train them on STEM and raise their awareness about STEM education. Number two is being strategic about how you can reach those in the underserved areas. Even though we've done the 12,000, there are still others in the rural areas who have never seen the STEM kit before. So it means that there's more
Yes.
work to need to be done, right? So we're very
Yeah.
strategic about the areas that we are targeting and those who have never had the experience of coding or robotics or AI before. And so we went
Yeah.
deeper into the underserved communities, and we conducted training programs to ensure that they are also equipped with the knowledge and also stay abreast with time. And also, we were also working with the GIFEC under the Ministry of Communication, where we have teachers across the 16 regions of the country using the GIFEC labs, where we also train the teachers to also go and train the students in the various regions of the country. And also through our connections and our social medias, we post ads and training programs to get people to register to impact the knowledge that we want to reach.
That's interesting. Thank you very much. I'm also glad you spoke about partnerships and then your collaborations with people, and also how you are looking at reaching the underserved communities. But before we get
Mhm.
right into that, you've achieved near gender balance amongst your users. We have both the boys and girls participating. What intentional steps helped you get there, and where do you still see the gaps?
So also in the program, I'm sure they also have the KPIs that you are supposed to, with the numbers you are doing, like the 8,000 learners you are doing, you are also targeting 60% of the numbers as females. So
Okay.
you have to be very deliberate about the female gender and ensure that they are also well equipped. Because even in the research and the report, you notice that there are less presentations of female enrolling STEM at a higher level. So we need to be very strategic about how we can be able to engage the female representations to also be well equipped in those areas. So one of the things that we did was to be very strategic and also target the female schools to train their students in the field of STEM. So, like maybe Accra Girls, through partnerships, we go and we train. Every Girls, through that, we go and train. Manfi Girls, you go and you train. So, you target all these specific gender led schools to be able
Yeah.
to empower those ones to also to be able to try and to meet the gap. And one of the major challenges is that as much as we're making all this available, they feel a bit skeptical that STEM is not for them, you know. So
Yeah.
with all these opportunities available, they still feel a bit skeptical and reluctant that it's too difficult and I can't do it and that. So that is why initially in my conversation I mentioned that awareness is key. So if
Yeah.
I'm studying robotics right now, what would it look like? Because my parents are always known to being a science, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever they are known to see their friends do. or their friends, family members also do. So when you go and tell your
Yeah.
parent that you are doing STEM, they don't see any direct relationship to you becoming something that you can be at a higher level or even in your career. So awareness is very important where some of the times we go for PTA meetings where we present how STEM career opportunities are there for anyone so that the parents are also well informed so that when the child makes the decision, the parents give the support to the child to ensure that they pursue at a higher level and they grow to become someone in the field of STEM.
Right. In underserved communities, you made mention of the language barrier. Aside that, are there other challenges you face there? If you could just state two of them, I'll be
Ah,
grateful.
I mean, underserved communities, language is one, and also access is also another challenge. Infrastructure is a problem, power is a problem. Some of the places don't have electricity. So if you have a tool that is dependent on the internet, that is dependent on electricity, then you cannot work with them because they don't have those. And so we are looking at those challenges. That is how also led to the STEM kit. So that one, you don't need any internet, you don't need any power. The only thing you need is your kit, and you start learning, putting things together. And I see someone asking, is it for basic skills alone? No, it cuts across from basic all the way to the tertiary levels because that is how we want to address the gap. It means that once you purchase the kit, you are introduced to tools and resources with guided manuals. So once you purchase the kit, let me show you how it looks like. So this is the STEMAIDE Coder kit. So in this kit, it has various sensors, components, and wires and bulbs. And once you have it, you are presented with a manual. So the manual will guide you onto building the project, starting from beginner all the way to the advanced level. So irrespective of the level you find yourself, you find your feet in there, and then you follow and build step by step by following the manual. So it's not just for basic skills alone, it cuts across and it's available for everyone, starting from the basics all the way to the higher level and the tertiary level. So I um alone here, it looks like our so whilst we are still waiting for her to join, I can go ahead and also talk a bit more about how we're able to meet the numbers and also reaching out to the audiences, especially in Ghana, and also plans to expand across Ghana and Sub-Saharan Africa and also West Africa. So in the okay, how do we get about getting you making impact in a particular school? So probably if you are in Ghana, then you can send an email at contact@stemage.com. Contact at stemage.com. Stemage.com. And then our team will reach out to you. They may have the conversation how we could bring the training to your school, whether you are in a basic school, a tertiary school, or a senior high school. That is in the Ghana perspective. And if you're outside Ghana, also, you can send an email and then we can have the conversation about how we can reach you in your country and how we can also work with you in your country to bring this also to your country. So I was talking about how we are getting that. So in that perspective, we work with closely with the partners that are having access to the schools. We also have access to the schools. We have formal letters that you send to schools to ensure that you are able to go to the schools with authority from the appropriate bodies. And then through the PTA program. So you will be invited to a PTA program, then you go and present so that the parents can also be aware of what is happening because we are always used to the exams. So students are always of the view you pass the exams and then you go your way. So then, if there's anything that is not directly involved in getting the child past the exams, then there's a bit of skepticism and also reluctant to accept it. So you try as much as possible to raise the awareness and also ensure that the appropriate stakeholders involved are well equipped to understand what it means and how the future potential will look like for the student and also for the country as a whole. Then they get to understand and how they can also involve themselves in the impact that we are doing. Another question, yes, I'm in Ghana, Central Region. Do Dunkwa is an NSF community. So please, you send an email and our team will reach out to you to take this conversation further and see how best we can come to your aid and see how we can also make more impact in your region. You have to also do the groundwork by informing the appropriate bodies like the GES heads and all those who are also involved so that you set the stage for us to come, which is also very important. Because if you are requesting for this and you don't make the necessary groundwork and you go and they don't know what is happening, then it becomes a challenge. So you try as much as possible to engage the appropriate stakeholders so that they be briefed and they are aware of anything that is coming up from what we do here. So whilst we still wait for our host, I'm sure there are no other questions, so I'll probably continue with how we make this impact and how we are able to do that and how we are also looking forward to school. If you're a partner who has a school, who also have an NGO, an organization as a social corporate responsibility, you can reach out and see how best we can work together to make more impact in your community or in your region so that we can also address the gap when it comes to infrastructure gap, when it comes to the skills gap, when it comes to the gap of looking at STEM as this teaching education as a theory more than the practical way of doing things. And so I hope she has joined now, or she's still not joining. Uh, Let me see what's happening. Hello. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we are unable to continue the stream. We would reschedule this session and then we would continue the conversation. Apologies for any inconveniences caused. And thank you so much for having this time to join us. Hopefully, we will reschedule and reach out again. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye, everyone.